Do not spend your dirty old coins because they could be valuable. All right, let's hop right into it, guys. Welcome back to Couch Collectibles. Hope you guys are having an awesome day as always. Now, this first coin here is something that we have covered in the past. It is a 1975 Jefferson nickel that sold for over $1,000. Now, why would a circulated 1975 nickel sell for this price? Because it has something very, very interesting. If we look at the date 1975 and you see the D mint mark there to the left of the date, that D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, meaning that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint. However, this D mint mark is misplaced. It's not supposed to be that high up next to the 5. Here's what a regular 1975 D mint mark is supposed to look like and what most of them do look like. Now, if we go back to this image, the mint mark is misplaced. It's high. It's up by that 5. So that will give the coin, obviously, a lot of value. The coin sold for over $1,000 in pretty horrible condition here, graded at an XF40. So such a simple error to look for when you guys are going through coin rolls from the bank. If you guys search for nickels like this, finding one like this, obviously probably a needle in a haystack, but you know, obviously, this thing has been spent for years and years, and someone came across it and got it graded and sold it for some good money. All right, this next coin here is a 1970 quarter that sold for $65 in horrible condition. Now, this quarter only weighs 4.3 grams. Typically, quarters weigh about 5.67 grams. So why is this quarter weighing so low? Well, it was actually struck on a 10-cent thickness stock. So what in the world does that mean? Well, basically, if you guys are familiar with blank planchets, the planchet is, you know, there's a sheet of metal that gets all the circles cut out, you know, and that's the planchet. And then the planchet gets struck with the die that has the design on it in order to create the coin. Well, in 1970 at the Denver Mint, when making these quarters, a coil that was intended for the Roosevelt dimes was inserted into the blanking press, which is obviously much thinner than, you know, a quarter stock. So dime stock is obviously thinner. If you look at a dime, it's thinner than a Washington quarter, right? So that mistake was not really discovered, and basically they think around 100,000 of these reached circulation. So always weigh your quarters from 1970 and even in the 60s, of course, because you could have an error like this that can give the coin some value. 65 bucks in pretty bad condition there. Now, this next coin, even in worse condition, and it's a 1966 Washington quarter that has the same type of error. It was struck on a dime stock. So this took place in 1966 as well, at least for some quarters, this one here in particular. And this coin sold for around $70 at auction in horrible condition. So if your quarter is really thinner than, you know, an average quarter, it only weighs around, you know, 4.3 grams, you might want to inspect it closely and consider having the coin graded. This next coin here is a, well, it looks like a steel penny, right? Steel cent. This wheat penny here is actually not from 1943 when they made wheat pennies. This penny is from 1945. So we have the Lincoln wheat cent design here that was actually struck onto a foreign planchet. So that is what gives the coin value, and that's why the coin sold for over $1,700. So, you know, when you're buying coin collections or you inherit a coin collection and you come across a bunch of steel pennies, you know, there are different errors you can look for on those, but make sure it's not a 1945 that looks like a steel penny, because this could easily blend in with those. And if you guys want to look at how much the steel pennies are worth, just type in 1943 penny Couch Collectibles and you'll find those videos. This next coin here is a 1945 silver Jefferson nickel. That's right, from 1942 to 1945, they made 35% silver nickels because they needed nickel for the war. So they made Nickels from 1942 to 1945, 35% silver. Now, how do you tell if it's silver? Well, it has a big P, D, or S mint mark there above the building on the reverse. That's the easiest way to tell. Now, this coin also has a mint error. It has a laminated planchet. So you can look for laminations on all kinds of different coins, not just, silver nickels. This coin ended up selling for $44 in not so great condition. VF20 grade there. The coin grading scale, of course, goes up to 70, so to have it at a 20, a little lower on the coin grading scale there. Now, this is something that could easily be passed up in circulation as well. It's a 1945 wheat penny. You can see that the design's being cut off a little bit there because we have a Lincoln wheat cent design that was struck onto a Peru 5-cent planchet. So the coin weighs 3 grams here, and the coin sold for over $1,500. That's right, over $1,000 for a wheat penny because it was struck onto the wrong planchet. Now, here is a 1945 wheat penny that sold for around $35. Now, if you're not really paying attention to your coins, you could easily pass something like this up. You'll see that little extra metal there on the rim of the coin. That is known as a die break or a cud. Cud, die break, same thing. Now, this coin is graded at a 15. So again, lower on the coin grading scale. If this coin had been, graded at a higher grade in much better condition, the coin could have sold for a lot more than $35. And of course, die breaks can vary in size. This is a pretty small one, so, kind of on the lower end when you got those small die breaks. Now, here is a 1944 wheat penny that just looks like it's pretty extremely damaged, And this coin sold for $41 as is here at a VF20 grade because it was struck onto a split planchet. So the coin weighs 1.72 grams, and the coin is supposed to weigh 3.1 grams in 1944. So $41 for that coin. Now let's move on to a 1944 wheat penny that has a clamshell lamination, and we can really see that there on the reverse of the coin. Sometimes you'll have to turn the coin over to look at the edge to really see that clamshell. But this coin ended up selling for $60 at auction, only graded at a 30. So not too bad for that penny as well. Now, here is another silver nickel. I told you guys you got to look for the big P, D, or S there on the reverse to know if it's silver. This one also has a lamination as well. The coin sold for $16. These really vary in value based on, the grade or the condition and, kind of how unique the lamination looks and the market and the time in which you sell the coin. All those things kind of affect the value. So not too much for that one, but still a $16 nickel there that most people probably would just think it's an extremely damaged coin. Now, here is a 1943 steel cent in horrible condition. This is probably what most of our steel pennies look like, right? 1943 S, and you'll see that this has a die break as well down at the bottom of the Lincoln cent, and you see that extra metal there on the rim of the coin. Pretty small cud there. However, it still gives the coin some extra value. If this coin did not have the die break, it really wouldn't sell for $1. It's a steel penny in pretty rough shape, but because of the die break, the coin ended up selling for $75 at auction. Now, we looked at extreme type of mint errors like off-centers in other previous coin videos, but this off-center is only 5%. I could definitely see someone passing this up, that is not really familiar with coins or doesn't really pay attention, and they're just, they inherit a coin collection and like, here's a bunch of pennies, we need to sell them. But this is pretty obvious to a coin collector. The coin's been struck 5% off-center. It's a 1942 wheat penny that sold for $31. Again, if these coins were in much better condition, higher grades, they could sell for a lot more money. Now, here is another 1942 wheat penny. It looks normal on the obverse of the coin, like a circulated wheat penny would. However, on the reverse, we see something that is totally off, right? And this coin sold for $95 because it has that lamination there on the reverse of the coin. So laminations can vary in terms of, kind of how they look, and they can take place on all kinds of different coins. So $95 for that penny. Now, here's something that could very easily be passed up. We looked at a die break that took place there at the bottom of the Lincoln Cents, that little small piece of metal on the rim of the coin. Well, if you're not really inspecting your coins closely, you might miss this one. This is on the reverse of the coin, and we see that there on the wheat stock. So you can see that die break there. It looks much different, kind of blends in with the wheat stock there. So definitely inspect your coins closely with your coin microscopes. Hit that link in the comments and you can pick one up today. This coin sold for $37 at a pretty low grade, a 35 on the coin grading scale. So always pay attention to your coins and don't spend those dirty old coins, because you could have one like this that's worth a lot more than its face value. All right guys, if you want a coin mat, they are available right now on couchcollectibles.com. We have the nickel mat, penny mat, quarter mat, and $half coin mat. A lot of dates updated and added, RPMs, all the way up until 2023 here on the penny mats. Super soft for your coins, nice and rubber, light, easy to, fold up, carry wherever you want. And then bam, you want to go through your coins, you get you a roll of coins, break it out on there, save the ones you want, key dates or any errors that you find or any silver. You can actually get these right now on couchcollectibles.com. Hit the link in the comments below if you guys want to pick up all four. You can get all four for a deal that are a lot cheaper than buying them individually. So feel free to pick one up in the comments below, couchcollectibles.com. And don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Feel free to check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I'll see you guys in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.